Good morning, you guys. I am Ashley from Elemental Growth, and I'm here today to walk you through my experience in Peru. I wrote this blog for the Amazon Rainforest Conservancy, which Elemental Growth, my business, sponsors. I'm also going away on a private retreat with the president of the Amazon Rainforest Conservancy in September. So I'm really excited, and I'm really happy to be recreating this blog again in form of a video so you guys can enjoy it. Here we go. Hi friends, I was so excited when I was asked to write this blog, not because I think my story is the best one out there, far from it. I'm excited to share my story because it was a time in my life that changed me forever. My journey began when I decided to follow in the footsteps of the famous ethnobotanist Terence McKenna and hopped on a plane to Colombia. My intent at the time was to cross Bogota into La Sierra like he did in the 90s. Instead, my journey led me through Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. Now, do you know what I say instead? But do you know what? Terrence and his brother and their tribe from Berkeley and Harvard, like they inspired me to hop on that plane. But the path that I foraged was so incredible, and I had no idea what I was in for. I packed really light. I had my cell phone stolen from me my first day, so I was completely off grid. All my pictures and everything really came from my friends and people that I met when I was traveling. So I'm so grateful to all of them for like letting me have those memories and sharing them with me, and of course keeping in touch, because those connections are so incredible. And one of my most important ones are with the president of the Amazon Rainforest Conservancy, Jana, which you will hear about in just a few minutes. So back on topic here. After our 2-day bus ride from Ecuador into Peru, my travel companion was ready to head home. So we took a taxi from the airport to the airport in Lima. While waiting with her that night, I saw a post in a Facebook group about a fellow member being in the Amazon. And since we had connected online previously about our shared passions, I sent him a message asking if he was still in Peru and where. I was a little nervous to travel to a place alone that was not even on my radar, but I was open to adventure and followed my heart. He reserved me a room at the hostel he was staying at, so I hopped on the same day flight to the Amazon rainforest. Even reading that, actually, like, it seems really scary, right? Like, I was headed out there to meet with somebody I had only known from a Facebook group, but this whole experience of like following your heart and breaking through those fears and trusting yourself and your heart to just guide you is so incredible. Because if I didn't take that leap, I wouldn't have met any of these people that are so important to me now and have like really made an impact. Like the experience itself made such a big impact. And it goes to show too the power behind Facebook groups and building these kind of communities that are passion based, and where you can meet with people that have the same kind of mindset as you. So let's continue on here. My plane landed in what seemed to be an open field and a bus station. I took a deep breath in and headed outside. I saw a nice man standing beside what I learned was a tuk-tuk. What it is like a motorcycle, and some of them have like a little seat behind with a cover. So that's what a tuk-tuk is. Some of them even have boxes. It's like a motorcycle taxi. He asked where I was going and took me straight to my new hostel, where I met Jason. who was so sweet and took me to an awesome restaurant that served vegan dishes, even though he wasn't vegan at the time. Maybe it's now. I'm not sure. We had juice and dinner and talked about his plans to buy property in the jungle and the book he was writing, which I'm going to link below, because the proceeds of that book, some of them actually go back into the Amazon Rainforest Conservancy. So the book itself is amazing. It's about his adventure and some of his ayahuasca experiences after his near-death experience, and that whole healing process. So if that doesn't already inspire you to grab it, maybe the donation to the Amazon Rainforest Conservancy will. So in our conversation, we actually dug deeper into our passions, talking about plant medicines like ayahuasca, which was kind of what I was searching for, but I was looking for it in Colombia. I'll get into my Colombia stories and Ecuador stories and things later on. Actually, I haven't talked about them in a very long time, but it's all really exciting that I want to share with you, but I want to keep it focused here. So I was looking for ayahuasca, so we got in more conversations about that, since he was experienced in writing a book on it, and he knew a lot of people because he spent a lot of time in the rainforest and different places in South America, actually. So I will link that below. We also talked about self-sustainable living. We all know that's something I'm passionate about, and something that I was learning more about when I was on the road as well. I love connecting with farmers, and so different places, Airbnbs and things that I would stay at. I tried to see if they were a farm, people that I could learn from or share with, and so when I woke up the next morning, I noticed there's a starfruit tree right outside my door. I continued to walk right into this beautiful outdoor kitchen and met some great new friends. I connected with a girl named Ampy from Spain. She lived in Peru a few years earlier and wanted to visit some tourist sites that she didn't have a chance to see when she lived there. Ampy and I both desperately needed to do some laundry, so took it in together and walked to the local market. It was outdoors and pretty big. We tried some fruit that you can only get locally and juices made from starfruit. After lunch and our taste testing, we decided to check out what else makes Puerto Monaldo special. We spent a few hours at a butterfly sanctuary bonding with the owners. The place was so beautiful, and I made a butterfly friend right away. It was a blue morpho, and he just loved me. I put him down on a flower at the end of the tour, and he still found me again. Like, it didn't matter how long we were there. It just, he just stayed on me. And these are some of the most beautiful butterflies. I mean, they're all beautiful, but the blue morpho is this crazy blue right out of a fairy tale. And the Amazon is actually home to a huge amount of butterflies. I did do a post on this on my Instagram, and it was actually from the Amazon Rainforest Conservancy. They did a top 10 reasons to love butterflies. So you can find that either on my Instagram or on their blog page. Maybe I'll link them below too. We'll see if I remember. Our tuk-tuk driver waited for us to finish up because he was having a bad day, and said he had been enjoying his time with us and offered to take us on a 2-hour tour to some of the off-the-map places for 27 soles, which is about $11 Canadian. Of course, we agreed. He first took us to Matro Dios River, where we met some locals who were hauling in bananas, papayas, and plantains by boat. They were really friendly and let us hop aboard to take some pictures. The vibe was indescribable, and it truly was indescribable. But I gotta tell you, like, again, I was really breaking through my fear, right? I didn't know a lot of Spanish, and even though I had been on the road for about a month at this time, it was like still scary to just go off the map with this guy I don't know and I don't speak Spanish, but I felt in my heart that it was something that I wanted to do. I felt excitement about the tour, and my friend that was with me, she did speak Spanish, and And she seemed really comfortable with this, even though like a few times she would freak me out about like driving on the highway and things, because you're just this like little tiny motorcycle on a highway of yeah, on a highway at night in the Amazon. It's just, yeah. So each night I watched the sunset and the moon rise, Venus shine, which is so bright there, and the stars appear again so bright and clear. My nights were as amazing as my days. There was some of the most pristine primary rainforests in the world. They include several obox lakes and clay lakes where hundreds of birds, including macaws, feed on clay. One of my roommates was saving monkeys for 2 weeks. Another group I met there were helping to save harpy eagles. I met some farmers and swing from jungle vines with a group I dearly love, and you guys know. I actually traveled with this group to Cusco. I went on my own a day before them, and I didn't actually know, or neither did they, when they were going to join me there. I just knew that I had to go, and I actually had a horrible time. And then all of a sudden, this next morning, I'm waking up and I'm so wet because they wash off all the streets every day. And I hear my name, and Ashley's not a Spanish name, so I'm looking around and I'm like, why would anybody know me? Is this like the spirits talking to me and trying to tell me something? And there it was, like a tribe of friends that like I truly adore, and we went and had a really amazing time in that part of Peru together. So give a shout out to them. You guys know who you are. So I also met Jana, who works at ARC, the Amazon Rainforest Conservancy. Jana and I shared our passions, beliefs, and discovered we were both from the same province in Canada. I have since had the opportunity to get more involved with ARC myself. As I said, I'm a sponsor now, and I've done a collaboration, a blog collaboration with them, and we brainstorm, mastermind stuff through emails. It's really amazing. I'm sharing this with you because I hope that if you're passionate about something, you can find a tribe like this. Because there's a lot of other members too that are very like-minded and have been really inspirational for me. What's another thing? Yeah, Jana and I, we are going to go on a private Cambo 3-day cleanse in Denver with a practitioner there who's worked in the Amazon rainforest. That's where she got her training. But we feel really drawn to the mountains in that area, and also to this particular practitioner. So that's where we're going to go meet her on a goat ranch for 3 days in the mountain. This is going to be my first time leaving my son for a period like this, and especially traveling to the States, but it's all happening, and everything really happens synchronicity, like through synchronicity. So I feel really good about it. I'm trying to turn that fear into excitement because it does come up. It's a sacred medicine. It's time away from my son. This is somewhere I've never been, but there's also a lot of good. You know, I'm really excited to connect with Jana. I'm really excited to get in the mountains and to collect with Raven, the practitioner. I'm really excited for this cleanse for my own healing and my own elemental growth journey. I had the frog presented to me many times in times where I've tried transformational areas in my life over the last few years. And then I was working with this coach, Coach Richard Harris, amazing guy, amazing channel. So check him out. And he talks a lot about Campo, but at the time I had no idea. I drew a druid card of a frog that talked about medicine, and I told my coach when I was working with him, I said, I think that you're the frog, you're that medicine, you're that teacher, because he was helping me with some other areas of my life at the time. And he said, no, Ashley, I'm not the frog. I'm going to teach you the frog. You're going to make your own retreat, or you're going to do the treatments, because it sounds like that's what you're being called to. Go watch my videos. So it was really incredible, and a lot of synchronicities, one after the other, and even how the three of us girls came together was very special. So follow your guys' hearts, so you know if things like this are popping up to you. Or if you want me to talk more about these things, leave it in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer your questions. Back to the Amazon Rainforest Conservancy. Jana and I, we shared our passions, beliefs, and discovered we're both from the same province in Canada. I have since had the opportunity to get more involved with ARC myself. There's so much work to do on this planet, and to serve such a sacred place is a blessing. Currently, we're looking to open up schools in Puerto Monaldo for the children whose parents cannot afford to send them to school. We plan on integrating conservation, environment, and nutrition into the curriculum to encourage a change of thinking for the next generation. Because currently, most residents from Puerto Monaldo think nothing of destroying the rainforest and the jungle to make money, because they are poor and that's what they know. And it's like that a lot of places in the world. It's not just in the Amazon. This is a global issue. We're all destroying our environment for profit. You know, I'm going to bring this back to Dr. Seuss and the Lorax. You know, we have been being taught about this, and that the wants aren't as important as the environment for a very long time. It's our mission now to start being the change. And I talk about that in my book, Be the Change, Your Guide to Elemental Growth. And I'm also going to bring that up again today, because I know and I feel it's my mission. I know a lot of people feel it in their heart that are in my circle and in my tribe. And maybe this is one of the ways that we're going to be connected to turn our ripple effects into a wave. And it's community and tribe that's going to do that. We contribute, we as in the Amazon, or we, sorry, as in us as a collective, contribute to the destruction. But there's a great opportunity here to make a difference today. Do you have time to speak at your schools, in your community? Do you have an in at those schools? Maybe you are a teacher, or a substitute teacher, or you do presentations there already. Do you see another opportunity or way that you can serve? And of course, do you have the money or time availability to give back in any way possible to the Amazon Rainforest Conservancy? I will leave the donation button below, as well as to their website. You can also find a bunch of links and videos on my website about the Amazon Rainforest Conservancy and the different sponsors, so I will link both of those below as well. I am Ashley Michaud, Master Coach and author of the book, Be the Change, Your Guide to Elemental Growth. I love you.